Picture this, a family with a deep-rooted passion for food, 5 years of waiting, and an ambitious vision to transform how India indulges in dessert. This is the story of Hocco, a game changer in the Indian ice cream market that has brought a twist to tradition and has generated over 100 crores of revenue in just 1 year. With already 100 outlets across the country, Hocco does not simply just blend in with the other new age brands like Noto, Getaway, and Minus 30, but also stands out as a bold challenger to legacy giants like Amul, Mother Dairy, and Quality Walls. Sitting at a valuation of 600 crores, it is clear that their journey is not just about flavor, but also about innovation and strategy. In today's episode, we'll deep dive into the two key insights that we as aspiring founders and entrepreneurs can apply in shaping our 0 to 1 journeys. So let's dive in. Now, let's talk about India's 20,000 crore ice cream market that is forecasted to grow at over 13% CAGR by 2029. Rapidly changing consumer preferences, rising temperatures, longer summer months, and the boom in quick commerce are rapidly changing the dynamics of this industry and are expected to be the key drivers of this growth. Fun fact, did you know that in India, over 50% of the annual sales for most ice cream manufacturers are contributed through the summer months of April to June. And with an expansion of these summer months, this number is very likely to grow. But getting back, first let's try and understand the competitive landscape of this industry. Today, the organized segment comprises of 125 odd and small firms, all with slightly differentiated products. This categorizes the segment, this entire market, as a monopolistic market but with oligopoly tendencies. By the way, a monopolistic market is different from a monopoly. Here, a large number of sellers are competing for market share with similar yet slightly differentiated products. Coming back to the competitive landscape, the oligopoly tendencies of the market allow a few dominant players to control a significant share of the market. The legacy players of this industry supply different forms and shapes of ice cream depending on the composition and type of raw materials, and today control over 50% of the market. The first form is a frozen dessert made with vegetable oils instead of dairy fat and includes all low-cost mass products that are priced between 20 rupees to 100 rupees. This category includes HUL's Quality Walls, Vadilal, and Creambell and accounts for the second largest share of the market. Milk-based ice creams and gelatos are made with dairy fat and differ only on the basis of composition and texture, with gelatos being denser and creamier and made of lesser air. This category is the largest share of the market, dominated by legacy giants like Amul and Mother Dairy and smaller gelato players like Gelato Vinto, Minus 30 and others offering at price points of Rs 100 to 250 and 250 to 500. Meanwhile, artisanal ice creams focus on introducing innovative flavors using high quality ingredients at premium prices in a niche market. Brands such as Hocco, Brooklyn Creamery, Naturals, and others are capitalizing heavily on this trend of younger consumers by offering products priced at Rs 250 till Rs 600 and above. So today, milk-based ice creams control the largest share of the market at 54%, led by Amul and Mother Dairy. This is followed by frozen desserts, the second largest segment in the industry, with a market share of 34%, led by brands such as HUL's Quality Walls, Vadilal, and Creambell. Lastly, we have the artisanal ice cream segment and gelatos, which comprise of 8.5% and 5% market share respectively through smaller new age brands. Every great brand has a story, and Hocco's begins with Ankit Chona's grandfather, Satish Chona, who started Havmor in 1960 in Ahmedabad after relocating post-partition. What started as a humble brand, a humble ice cream parlor, soon became a beloved local brand due to Satish Chona's commitment to crafting quality ice cream. Like all family businesses, Havmor grew and changed with each new generation. When Ankit Chona joined Havmor, the family business, his fresh ideas took the company to such new heights that ice cream actually became the center of their business. In fact, Ankit Chona decided to focus on ice cream so much that it became 80% of the sales for Havmor. Despite Havmor's rapid growth, the choice to use only milk and cream as raw materials instead of cheaper vegetable oils like the competitors raised production costs and challenged the business profitability. This ultimately led the Chona family to sell their Havmor brand to South Korean confectionery Lotte for 1020 crores in 2017. So what led Ankit to create another ice cream brand, and what would make Hocco different? Well, during his 5-year non-compete with Lotte, Ankit noticed a gap, a growing appetite for artisanal ice cream that still felt authentically Indian. And this is where Hocco would come in. So Ankit combined what he knew best, quality and tradition. With that, Ankit envisioned that Hocco would appeal to all generations, especially the younger generation, with innovative flavors that appeal to the Indian palate, all at an affordable price. So in late 2022, he was ready to re-enter the ice cream market and launch Hocco as a brand that would infuse quality, nostalgia, and creativity in every scoop. The traditional channels of distribution in the ice cream industry comprise of small retailers, neighborhood stores, supermarkets, and ice cream carts that solve for convenience through impulse purchases. However, in today's day and age, the rise of quick commerce has disrupted this channel by adding value on both the manufacturer and consumer's point of view. From a consumer's point of view, the freebies offered by these platforms and the idea of home delivery just a few clicks away simply seals the deal. This makes the traditional channels of distribution seem like a massive friction point. In fact, according to a recent survey by NIQ, a staggering 31% of urban Indians prefer quick commerce as a primary shopping method, with over 39% using it for top-up purchases, which is causing over 20% of kiranas across the country to lose significant business. Meanwhile, from a manufacturer's point of view, quick commerce provides a D2C channel to reach consumers more swiftly and efficiently with reduced investments in manpower and infrastructure. Also, through properly formulated strategies, these platforms can enable extremely powerful product discovery that can become a cost-effective solution to expand into a desired target market. In fact, Shivan Ghai, the director at Brooklyn Creamery, credits quick commerce to more than half of the company's revenues. Similarly, Kiran Shah, founder of the new age brand Go Zero, claims that over 70% of the company's revenues are powered through quick commerce. Why is this step so revolutionary? Well, in India, you see, the high temperature climate requires constant refrigeration in order to ensure that the product is not spoiled during transportation. This means that there is a requirement of temperature controlled trucks and monitoring systems, along with cold storage facilities and a constant supply of electricity at all times. Also, the traditional distribution model increases the number of touch points that this supply chain has to cater to. This requires more manpower to manage the same, thus incurring high operational costs with increasing chances of product spoilage. More often than not, these companies end up having to install refrigerators in a lot of these small kirana stores in order to ensure mere availability of their product. However, even after this process, a lot of these small kirana stores end up shutting down these refrigerators during the night in order to save costs on electricity. This ends up with the product being spoiled. This is where quick commerce solves a problem by streamlining the entire process with localized hubs and faster last mile delivery, which reduces storage costs and the added hassle by drastically shortening the supply chain. This was perfect for new age entrants such as Hocco, who became one of the first players to cash in on this opportunity and formulate a strategy to disrupt geographies outside Gujarat. However, this did not mean that Ankit Chona would abandon the powerful model of traditional channels of distribution. In fact, today the Chonas hold a remarkable reputation for building Havmor and have an established network of trustworthy and reliable dealers and distributors. This reduces the biggest pain point of a new business, building the supply chain. Paired with quick commerce, this network and experience holds a strong moat for Hocco and has allowed them to gain sustainable scale rapidly and achieve the 200 crore revenue mark. So, by banking on this blend of traditional and modern strategy, Hocco uses quick commerce to enter a new geography and then only follows up with the traditional channels of distribution after testing the market. For example, Ankit Chona recently unveiled the newly branded Hocco street carts, or Radies as we know it. This move came only after Hocco tested the market with quick commerce and the retail store network. In a market like India, home to one of the youngest populations around the world, where around 50% of the population falls below the age of 25, it is essential that brands evolve in order to stay relevant. With the majority of this ice cream consumption being driven by this younger audience, Hocco as a brand has truly understood the need and importance of catering specifically to these people. For years, the ice cream market has been dominated by legacy giants like Amul, Quality Walls, Vadilal, etc. Names that hold nostalgic value but often struggle to adapt to the preferences and interests of today's younger generation. Such brands came up at a time when ice cream was a relatively new treat to India. Back then, reaching the mass market worked because there was a simple focus on providing a good product at an affordable price. However, as times have changed and the consumer needs have evolved, the traditional and broad network of messaging no longer works because it does not truly resonate with the younger generations today. According to our Harvard Business School study, a staggering 95% of all purchase decisions are driven by emotion. This is where Hocco found its niche, who recognized the power of emotional branding and the importance of making meaningful connections with their consumers. In fact, 76% of consumers said that they would prefer a brand that they feel connected to over a competitor, perfect reflection of Hocco's strategy. Imagine Hocco's modern, vibrant, and inviting packaging. It isn't just eye-catching but is instantly memorable. Take the Superstars line for an example, where each and every flavor is represented by a unique character known as a superhero mascot. These quirky characters do more than just decorate the label. They provide personality and identity to each and every flavor and every product. These mascots serve as ambassadors of Hocco's mission: end urgency with ice cream. Through these superheroes, Hocco is trying to tell everyone a bigger story, one that invites everyone to pause and enjoy the simple, sweet moments of life. And Hocco's approach to branding goes beyond aesthetics. Their philosophy of arms wide open is more than just about their affordable pricing. It's about creating accessible spaces and fostering a sense of inclusivity for everyone. This emotional connection fosters long-term loyalty, ensuring that whenever consumers come across the Hocco brand, whether through flavor, packaging, or a store, they are reminded of the experience that Hocco has to offer. Well, that's all in store for today's episode. We'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're interested in more such case studies, follow along and stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Until then, we are here with you to learn, build, and innovate.